Hey, we have three smaller deals, but they could have a big impact here on trade deadline day. Number one, Patrick Marleau going to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Interesting little trade. On one hand, he was traded with a first-round pick to dump his cap hit, that being from the Leafs to the Hurricanes. Hurricanes bought him out, he became a free agent, and he joins the San Jose Sharks, which I'm sure was a real difficult adjustment for him. Comes in, he has a hot start. Take a look at Patty, and then the Sharks as a team, nightmare. The season's been a nightmare. But they recoup a pick, which might end up being very important for them on account of the Ottawa Senators have their first. So Marleau traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's a third-round pick, but if the Penguins win the Cup, the Sharks get a second rounder. Of course, keep in mind, if the Penguins do win the Cup, it'll be the last second rounder of the second round. Basically, the best the pick could be is 62nd. 62, matching his age. No, but not far off. On one hand, the guy is 41. On the other, he's still in the NHL. He can play wing in a super pinch. He can play a little bit of center. And hilariously, Colby Armstrong on the radio read out a text that he got from Sidney Crosby. And it was basically, yeah, no, great player, real solid. Whoa, whoa, Sid, calm down, whoa. Second, we get producer Drew and I's dream, hey! He shook his head, you didn't like it? We have a trade between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Colorado Avalanche, a little one. The Leafs reacquire defenseman Calle Rosen. You might remember him. He played just a cup of coffee with the Leafs, but he was traded to the Avalanche in the Nazem Kadri trade. In return, the Avalanche, who have had some injuries in net this season, get goaltender Michael Hutchinson, who you may or may not have heard people scream about. I don't know what people. There are plenty of them, though. I don't know, it's probably not wise to read too much into this. It's just two teams getting a little bit of what they need. The Leafs obviously moving on from Michael Hutchinson by acquiring Jack Campbell, so they said, okay, we don't need him anymore. But I don't know if you saw them lose to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver the other day. They could use some defense, so they get a little bit of that with Rosen. But interesting little wrinkle here, Rosen's time in Toronto, where he actually played with the Leafs, made them out of camp one year, and when he was traded, Sheldon Keefe was the head coach of the Toronto Marlies. Seems to be a recurring theme with the Leafs, but Calle Rosen was key during that Calder Cup run in 2018. He was a monster for that team. Now keep in mind, that's the minors. But this is a no-risk move. The team obviously has to do something, and you're handing him to a coach who knows what to do with them. If he works, great. If he doesn't, you gave up a goalie you didn't even want. And the Avs get what they need. It's the friendship trade. You want to be friends, Drew? You want to be... He said no. And last, this one got the funniest reaction on Twitter. The Buffalo Sabres acquire Wayne Simmons. Yeah, no, the Buffalo Sabres bought. So, here's what I think might have happened. The Sabres have had a good little week. They steamrolled the Leafs. They beat the Penguins, steamrolled them too. The Leafs are not doing so hot. Again, Zamboni, thought I'd mention that. And the Panthers appear to be, I don't know what the heck they're doing, but it looks an awful lot like selling. The Sabres are only 6 points back of the Leafs for the third spot in the Atlantic right now. They could easily hop over the Panthers as well. I think they can do this. A lot of people didn't like the trade, but I'm going to defend it. It's a 5th round pick that turns into a 4th if the conditions are met. If Simmons plays a certain amount of games and the Sabres make the playoffs. Wow, a 4th. Listen, I don't know if you saw Dwayne freak out. I don't know if you've seen Sabres fans freak out. They're not exactly happy with this team. It's been going up. They're happy with their play recently, but this season and the decade before it have been a decade to forget. You're within arm's reach of the playoffs. You can get this guy, a veteran, a great guy, for very little. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that not just for the team, but for the fan base? Listen, if you fall short, you fall short, but at least you tried. I like it for Buffalo. And as for New Jersey, it's just, it's been a bad year. But at least they have a 5th now. Maybe a 4th. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends and tell me which of those trades you like the best down in the comment section.